for the revival.
Y'all don't know what this is. Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rax, aka Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who they are, man. I'm here with Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets, Spiro, aka Spiro.
Hey,
Spiro.
hey.
That's the first time. That's the first time you've
Spiro.
gone off the rails at all on the intro. You're so
First,
consistent.
I ain't gotta even set it up. Spiro.
I did not.
Spiro, if you're nice. Spiro.
Yeah.
Spiro.
All right, Mike.
El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Damon Daniel. And shout out to you. Yes, you. Yes, the revivalists in the chat. Hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe, man. We need all the support as usual. And thank you so much, man. But Spitto, let's go around the room, man. How was your weekend? And I'm starting with if you're nice, Spitto, because you got to go with the Tommy Spitto.
Hey, yo,
How you
listen,
feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good, bro. Feeling good. The weekend was solid. You know, the holiday season's in full effect. Got to see friends, family. You know, the whole nine. We topped it off with a win last night, so I'm feeling pretty damn good about myself. I'm not sick for what feels knock on wood for what feels like the first time in a couple of weeks. Your boys feel good. I'm ready for the stretch run here, boys. How about you, F.A.? How you feeling, bro?
I mean, the Giants gave us some life again. They gave us. We're on life support. We were in a bad place, and now all of a sudden, there's reason to have fun again.
At least in a week, man.
Yes, it could all end. It could all end tomorrow. But I mean, at least it's been made interesting, if nothing else.
Yes.
And I'm sure we're going to get into that. But I was up late, and I did not get a good night's sleep. Eli, how about you?
I had a great night's sleep for a very long time, man. I got like 10 hours. I feel great, rejuvenated, but at the same time, I can still sleep a little longer. I don't get it. It's like when you get less sleep, right? You're up and at 'em. But when you get that good night's sleep, it's like you're still tired. I don't get it. I got the good. Shout out to the good. You know what I mean? Shout out to that. But guys, my weekend was great, man. You know, I worked, did what I had to do. Actually, no, I went to MSG. Shout out to MSG, man. They had a show, man. Went to the Mecca. Had a show, saw like a Christmas show with the family, man. So I had a good time, man. And then the Giants win, man. And we'll get into all of that, of course. But tops it off for the Giants win. You know what I mean? With all that stuff there. But let's go around the NFL because I got something to ask you. And I'm going to start here with El Jefe on this, man, because you got our guy, Kadarius Toney, out in Kansas City, man. What a call that was, man. Did the refs make the right call? But let's just break down, man. How'd you feel about that game? Was the refs right? And, man, it's Kadarius Toney. What better way than this, man? Let's go.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy. It just couldn't have happened to a better guy. I mean, he just showed everything he is in one play. Like, he scored the winning, like the touchdown, like an incredible touchdown. By the way, phenomenal throw by Kelsey, like in mid-game action, just to throw a tight spiral like that, right in his breadbasket. But Toney scores the winning touchdown, and then he's a dumb fuck. And he was like a foot and a half too far. Like it was not like it was an inch and they just like made a bad call. But I was watching because I didn't see this part earlier. And one of my friends showed me last night that he does give a quick check to the ref, but he did it before he stopped moving. So he looks, you know how receivers all the time will check with the ref, make sure they're good. Right. And they just kind of point at the ref. But it's when they're stationary already. And Toney's such a dumb fuck. He walks up. He's like, "Hey, what's up, ref?" And then goes up 2 more feet.
Yeah, right. You're not You're not actually doing your job in checking. You're just like,
so the ref's like, "I'm all right. I have to call this now." He checked with me, and then he moved up 2 feet. Like that's not how this works. Fucking crazy. They made the right call. I mean, I have other thoughts, but I'll let you guys go. I'll let you guys go first.
Speak.
Listen. I think a big factor is Rangers are down only 4-3 now. Sorry, that is not a factor. Sorry. I got Jerry's out there. Let me.
Thank you for the update.
With the score. Sorry.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. So the game, Kadarius Toney. I think personally, obviously, we're all a little biased. So all of us Giants fans got a little bit of a kick out of it being Toney, the guy of all guys to be that dumbass to do that on the last play. Apparently, this is an unwritten rule where the refs are supposed to help the wide receivers, which in my mind is total bullshit. Do they help the defensive players? Why is it just the wide receivers that get help on these? But
help them how? If he's not looking at you.
Yeah, you got what you're telling them. No, apparently you're supposed to warn the team first. Well, listen,
what if didn't?
Sorry, so are you going to warn someone every time that they hold somebody, and then if you didn't warn them, you're not going to call a holding? No, it's bullshit. You were offsides. They couldn't see the ball. That's how far offsides he was. I like the memes now that show him 10 yards into the Bills backfield. Dude, you're offsides. You broke the rules. Just because the refs didn't help you, it doesn't mean that you still broke the rules. Like I'm sorry, I have no sympathy for it. And then Pat Mahomes bitch ass crying about it on the side. First of all, total misdirected hostility. He meant that for Tony, and he just had to take it on the ref. Who you're screaming at a guy who did his job. I'm sorry, Andy Reid bullshit. It's all bullshit. You guys got caught. And if Kelsey was tackled as soon as he got that first down, nobody would have made a big stink of this. Or if Tony was tackled when he first caught the ball, nobody would have made a big stink. It's the fact that he scored. That's why this whole shit show happened. I'm sorry. It happened. He broke the rules. Rules is rules, baby. E, what do you think?
I mean, not for nothing. Yes, the rules are the rules, right? When it comes to ref in the game. But I can see why Patrick Mahomes was so upset, because that's a call that is very rarely called. I think when they said offensive offsides, everybody's mind was like, there's an offensive offsides? Like, everybody was just like, really? Because it's so rarely called. So, again, yes, I understand he's supposed to check into the line. They're supposed to help you, whatever the case is. He broke the rules. Don't get it twisted. But at the same time, I'm talking, this is like, come on, refs. Come on, like, you just dictated that game of that game being lost and won by either team at that point. So I gotta ask, and I always say this in part of every show: what skin they got in Vegas, man? What skin they got in the game? Because they created too much of an outcome.
But he threw the flag before the play happened. So how would he have known what was going to happen down there?
Then in that case, I get it. That's the call. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But in many instances, the refs do control the outcome of a game, right? Yeah. At that point. But at that point, sure, you broke the rules. Kadarius Toney, unfortunately, man, you was offsides. You didn't check in with the refs, whatever the case was. Patrick Mahomes can't be too upset, I guess, at that point if the flag was thrown a little bit earlier.
It's not like he tried to.
What are you gonna do, man? Again, I ain't mad. It's a rare call. I ain't mad at Pat Mahomes, but at the same time, Kadarius Toney got to do better and know better at that point. You've been in the league for 3 years, I think, at this point now, if I can remember. You know what I mean? So you're supposed to be that guy. You're supposed to be a veteran at this point. You're supposed to be helping. But I gotta ask, like, are you practicing? Are you there's got to be so many questions for you. Are you rapping? Like, what do you got? Bars in your head? You don't know where the fucking ball is? Like, come on, bro. Like, get it together. You're a professional.
I truly think he still has a skill set. He is like one of one. Some things he can do. He can wiggle like nobody else. He can stop on a dime, but it comes at a price. Number one is health, and number two is like he's not all there. No. You know what I mean? No. Like, you got to put up with some stuff. I just thought Mahomes was like so immature after the game. Like, if I was a Chiefs fan, I'd be livid. If I was Pat Mahomes, I'd be pissed as hell. But when you're saying good game to Josh Allen and you're bitching about the call, like, dude, just shake his hand and move on. Like, come on.
Even Josh Allen looked at him like, dude, shut the fuck up, man.
Right.
You broke Josh Allen's heart plenty of times to let him have this one. Like, you're going to be fine.
Right?
To what you said, it's very rarely a call. They've called that call. It's a point of emphasis this year. So specifically, they've called that call more this year than any other year before. So I hear what you're saying. But in this particular case, it is emphasized, and I'm sure Andy Reid has known that. And I don't know if he has conveyed that to his team. I as a good coach that Andy Reid is, I assume he did. And he didn't get the warning, is what he thought he was deserved.
There's like no time left to warn him.
Yeah, there was the last play. Maybe it is what it is. Like,
you know what, they and looking at that video, they hiked the ball very quick, right? Like, it didn't even have he did it way. I think they were in a hurry up, actually, right? So the fact that he did it before and then lined up, you could tell like the ball was getting hiked very quickly, so they couldn't. So at that point, I guess is a great call. Then at that point, if you look at it, right? Because if they're in a hurry up mode and he's trying to give the check a little bit early, he's just trying to do things quick as possible, and they hike the ball and he's offsides, then the refs made a great call. You can't be mad at that thing. I would say, and if that's a point of emphasis, Speed, which I didn't know, then that's a damn good call. Refs should have no smoke coming their way at all at this point.
Well, it's always and for a team that it got won a Super Bowl on a ticky-tack call in the Super Bowl, you guys should be the last one bitching about a regular season game on a ticky-tack call. So it is what it is. What's done is done. So listen, the Chiefs are not exactly playing elite football either. Like it's not like you guys are so deserving of it.
No,
you've gotten plenty of calls.
They ain't
exactly. So I think you guys gonna have to fucking earn it the right way this time, Chiefs. Let's see what you got. So.
And plus, everybody's tired of seeing them win anyway, right? I want to see somebody else in there.
Let's see you earn it, baby. Let's see you earn it.
Let's see. You got to earn it. Like you said, you got to earn it, man.
On that thought, real quick, who's your AFC team that you would like to see go, if not the Chiefs?
You got it. You got one. I'm gonna say for me personally, I'm on the Ravens. I'm always a Ravens guy. I love the Ravens. I think I'd like to see Lamar break through, man. I want to know. I want to know what he could do on a big stage. We haven't seen it yet. So is this the year? It's not that I want them to win. I said I want to see them, like what he could do on the big stage. So it's about time. Ravens.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get it, but at the same time, like just looking at this team, scrappy, like there's not say so much in the headlines, but I want to see Josh Allen do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's fair.
We've been seeing him and talking about him for the longest, and comparing him to Daniel Jones when Dayball came here as far as like skill set.
We tried.
So I want to see, right? That's another subject, but I want to see Josh Allen. I want to see him make it to that land. I want to see him. What can he do when everything's on the line? Because the guy is a special talent, right? Like we've seen him in the playoffs and seen him when Dayball was there. Like we've seen him play extremely well. So when it's all on the line, what other Swiss Army knife could come out of him? You know what I mean? So I want to see Josh Allen there. As much as I want to see Lamar, don't get it twisted. I love Lamar. I love the Ravens, but I just want to see what Josh Allen. That team is scrappy, man. Imagine
in an AFC Championship. That would be lit.
Yes. I'm calling out. I'm calling out a word. That's how much I would love to see something like that. I'm dead serious, man. That's a bar night. You know what I'm saying? So if that happens, we're going right to the bar and checking that out. We'll let y'all know. But I'd like to see that. I'm serious. Just those two young guys. I've seen enough Mahomes. I know Mahomes is great.
I know.
But let's see someone else. Let's see Lamar. Let's see Allen. I would love to see that, man. I would love it. I would pay to see that. I really would. But guys, I want to say this too. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
I would go the other way. You guys went with veterans who were like due to get to the big stage, and it's probably too late now, but I would have picked the Texans to see.
Yeah, you love you some CJ Stroud.
You know I love CJ Stroud. He's the quarterback that got away. Like that's the dude we need here. But he lost his. I know he lost Tank Dell. I don't know if what his deal is.
They got a calf.
So I think the magic is probably going to fade out now. But that would have been fun to see him with those two receivers, with that magic, carrying that into the playoffs when he was just lighting it up. It would have been really fun to see, because you don't see a rookie make waves like that too much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where they just kind of become an instant threat and you become somebody that's feared. He became that pretty damn quick. So
hell yeah.
I have a crush on the Texans.
Yeah, you do. I like that.
You do. And know what's another thing that probably upset a lot of people, man, as we're watching this Giant games for the first. Is this the first time? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're more the stat guy than me and Hef probably put together. But this is the first time I think a Monday night game, two of them was on there back to back. Am I right? Or
first time at the same time. Yes.
What in the hell did that piss you off, man? And I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Glass Half Full. How did you feel like having the two Monday night games on?
I gotta be honest. I know it pissed a lot of people off, but for me, like I love that there was no it seemed like there was no downtime between games. Like when one game was on a commercial, I flashed the other one, and it was consistent football on a Monday night. Kind of felt like a Sunday again. So I was kind of hyped about it. I can't lie, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. If there was one more game, I would have lost it. But like they were going split screen a lot of the time too. So like you were watching both games simultaneously on one channel, or again, like I said, every time the Giants were on at halftime, the other game was going on, commercials. So I was in my zone right now. The wife was upstairs; she was sleeping, so I was flipping back and
down.
forth. I was just
Vaseline
serving. Hey, you know what?
Box of Kleenex. Yeah, box of Kleenex. He is throwing in the towel, baby.
Oh no, babe! It's a good game. It's a good game.
I had stuffy nose, very stuffy nose.
Clean up.
Off the rails again. That's great.
Yes,
I love it.
yes.
Well, guys, I'm sorry. I want to finish.
No, that was it. What do you guys think? I don't know.
Did you finish? Did you finish?
Oh,
all right, cool.
I finished. Oh, God.
What you got, brother?
I mean, I couldn't really watch most of the other game. When you got like one TV, you know, at my buddy's house, it's like the split screen. It's like if you have the Eli and Peyton thing, it's like even the game is even smaller. And like I like watching Eli and Peyton for any other game except the Giants. Like I need the full screen and whatever. So it was all right. If it wasn't the Giants, I don't think I would have cared. I don't know. Like I got YouTube TV, and if you could split box that and just watch both games at the same time, I have no problem.
Right. That would be sick.
It's like Red Zone, man. It's like if you have ADD and you love football, it's just heaven. It's just nonstop action.
It was about that life.
And listen, for me, I was upset at one point because I think I was telling you guys earlier. I'm like, why do they have two different games on at the same time? I want to watch two, but then I realized I got to click in my TV. I got something called the X96 box, guys. If you are familiar with it, holla, get in the chat, man. But it's jailbroken, all right? So the jailbroken is I get a 5,000, 10,000 channels, all absolutely free. But that's another thing, all right? That's
call the cop.
That's another thing. Don't call the police on me, all right? But I totally forgot there's a feature where I could have split screen, and I could have watched both games and just keep flicking between the announcers, and it didn't show it. So I'm an idiot. So I was upset for no apparent reason. I could have watched both games with no problem, but I was stuck on the Giants game. So I was upset.
Rookie move.
It was a rookie mistake, man. So forgive me. Sorry, football guys. I couldn't get it together, man. It was terrible, man. My bad. So I'm not upset no more. But I'll tell you this, man.
We got a couple
I just want to catch up real quick. It's time for the weekly pressure.
Oh, she made it. The weekly pressures. Hey, get well soon, sis. I love you. I love you.
Yes. We love you
too. Well soon. Get some rest now, and I'll go to bed. Get some rest.
We've also we need one thing we got to pick up again, and it's not too late. We can do it. We need a fan of the month for December, but former fan of the month, Chris Peace coming through.
Hey!
Hit that like.
Let's go.
Thank you, Chris.
Please.
And
you're the best, guys.
Half of the Giant Insider podcast. It's
Jerry.
My God.
Good.
Thank you so much, brother Jerry.
Good live broadcast. I felt the good vibes. I was like, I'm staying here. At the end of the game, we all went on. Like, we gotta close this game out on the broadcast. Jerry did it live, man, and we felt the same exact way. We're all just like almost borderline in tears at the end. Like, we can't lose it like this, right? We can't lose it like this. And
dude, I was watching Jerry the whole time. Like,
I know
his whole feeling and emotion. I was like, yo, he's feeling us. Like, it's just how we are. And man, once he's like, yo, we did it. I was like, yes, man. He watched the post game show and all. He had the post game going. Shout out to you, Jerry, man. But man, that was incredible. That live is incredible. If you guys don't know, Giant Insider YouTube, they do the live streaming of the game, and they have a play-by-play. Jerry kills it. Go check them out, man. Put them notifications on so you guys can go take a look at the next show. Great freaking show, period, hands down. Jerry, that was a great one, man. I was like, holy cow, I was biting my nails, man. Great stuff as usual. We got to have them both on. We got to have the Biz and Jerry on.
At the same time, At
the same time, man. What the hell, man? We got to have like a revival Giant Insider. We got to have one of those things happening, man. Yeah, we got to make that happen.
We'll have
appreciate you, brother.
Contact their people, and we'll figure this
definitely, man. Yeah, we got to. They're the big guys, so we got to make sure we contact their agents.
Yeah, right.
Now those guys, man. You can text those guys any day. Shout out to them, man.
They're the best.
But guys, let me say this, man, because I kind of want the bed and got 10 hours of sleep for First time in a very
Stop
long
bragging
time.
about it already. Come on.
I don't even want to hear about this anymore. You know how fucking tired I am all the time?
Let me tell you. Let me sprinkle this on to you because this is by talking about it. Maybe you'll get 10 hours. All right?
I get 10 hours a week.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Number one, that's terrible. But you know what it is? I crash after the work week because I work so damn hard. But that's another story. All right? It's another story, guys. But I was extra happy. You know why? Because the Giants freaking won in the nail-biter down to the field goal against the Green Bay Packers. Shout out to the New York Giants. We got the dub, and you can shove that fucking tank up your ass there, people. That's a nice little jingle. Maybe it'll be in the video this week. I don't know, Hef. I'm just saying. I'm throwing my hat. Let me tell you, man.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Right? There you go. Let's say Tommy DeVito, 17 for 21, 158 yards, 1 touchdown, 70 yards rushing. Guys, it was almost a touchdown. He almost had rushing if he didn't want to run into Wan'Dale Robinson. But he played a good game. Now, again, a lot of people was like, it's not great. It's not great. But we have a quarterback that gave you some of those numbers, and you guys is like, Daniel Jones. But that's another subject. That's another subject. All right. I'm not here to fight. I love y'all. I'm just saying, give credit where credit's due. They had a good game, man. But is football like back in the Meadowlands and the Giants? You guys feel like we can make the playoffs? And I'm gonna start with El Jefe here.
Oh, wow.
Man, I'm gonna start
with
the
P word. You said the playoffs.
Playoffs. Do you feel it in your plums? Like there's something magical happening, El Jefe?
I heard someone else make this comparison. I shook it off at first, but now I keep going back to it a little bit. But it's not at this level yet. But Tommy DeVito has a little bit of that Victor Cruz magic. Like what did we just stir up there out of nowhere? Local kid, undrafted. You know what I mean? They've got that similar thing going on. But it's such a cool story. And the dude played great. Like put the fucking draft and tank and season and position and record, put all that shit aside. The kid played fucking great. And he started off rusty. He was way off target that first drive.
Oh, yeah.
He had Wan'Dale.
He missed Wan'Dale by like 10 yards.
But we were joking, and we're like, well, it's fucking cold out. You know, shit happens. Like, you gotta warm into that shit. But I think he played great. I think what I was really impressed with was not only like some of the throws that he started to make over, the last couple games, but he was so decisive when he left the pocket. He was clearly coached over the bye. You can't be taking all these sacks because a lot of them were on him. He was light on his feet and he's fast.
Right.
And he's like Daniel Jones is like physically like just way bigger, stronger, but he's straight line speed and that's it. And you're like nervous when he runs because he might get killed. He might trip. You really don't know what's going to happen. But DeVito takes off. He looks like he's doing out there. And he's an athlete. And I just didn't know he had that in his bag. So that was on full display, 71 rushing yards, and he was this close to a touchdown right there. Yeah, I was really impressed with him. To like put everything else aside, I was impressed, and I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Speed.
Yeah, I mean, the fucking legend continues to grow.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, Speed. Hold on. I can't let you off the hook. What you said? It's not there yet. You said playoffs. You said it's not there. Are you feeling it?
Playoffs.
Are you feeling it in your plums or what? I'm gonna throw you right in the fire here, Hefe. Are you feeling it in your plums? Like we only one game out. Are you feeling this in your plums?
Spiro's plums are about to explode. Go ahead, Spiro. Tell him what you got.
No. You have to finish your segment.
You trying to escape that though, Hef. You trying to escape this, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
I think too much damage was done to actually make the playoffs. If they win again in like convincing or a good win, New Orleans they're gonna have to beat Philly, and the Rams are Rams can score. Rams can put up points. So it's completely uphill, But if they dominate in New Orleans and he has another game, it's gonna be hard to ignore. Put it that way.
Mr. Glass half full. Here we go. What you got, Speed?
No. I'm gonna say, and I really want to. Man, I want to say it.
There it goes.
But
there it goes.
No, I have us at 7 wins. I have us at 7 wins. 2 more wins. Okay. I think they'll find 2 more wins, 7 and 10. It just, man, to get one against the Eagles, to get 8 wins would be nice. I still think 8 wins falls probably a game short. So that's
so you think win out? You got to win out, is what you're saying.
Essentially, which is like unless the Eagles somehow well, if they lose to us the first game, they're certainly not going to bench their guys in the last game. So, it's a scenario where I don't see us ever sweeping them. I don't even see us competing with them yet. But man, this fucking DeVito ride's fun, and to have a glimmer, to have a chance to get into that fucking in the hunt pick. If we win next week, where you get to 6-8, and you're like, hey, our name's up there. We're not eliminated yet. We're still there after all that's happened so far. Tommy's given us a nice little ride at the end here. So for that, I am thankful. Watching that kid, like, this was the game where I was like, not the previous two games didn't mean as much because you go two teams that were eliminated essentially. The Packers were hot coming in. It was a great team with a good defense coming in, and Tommy went out there, made plays with his arms, made plays with his legs, came back when all looked lost, and Saquon, our best player, almost fumbled away the game. Tommy, like nothing matters, came in and went right down the field like he's throwing the field like he's throwing it at Bosco, like that's the biggest game of your life, biggest situation in your life, and you acted like it was nothing. Ice in your veins. He is cool. Ice in the veins. That dude, yep. So and then throw to Hodgins. It was a wow throw for me. I was like, oh, okay. On the run, in the corner, on the move. Like there was a lot of things that I liked out of Tommy there. And I'm excited to see now you go down to New Orleans and win there. That's another huge checkbox for me.
I think Wink is gonna fuck that offense up.
Yes, but I'm also that defense is good too. So he's gonna have to earn. Tommy's gonna have to earn it too. So Wink will keep us in it. That defense will keep us in it. Might get ugly, but he's won ugly games so far. Like so, he knows how to win ugly. Let's see what he can do, man. E, what do you think about him? What are your thoughts on Tommy? Wait, first,
be honest with you.
Playoffs or no? Playoffs or no?
Okay.
And then go to Tommy.
All right. So, I hate to be the Debbie Downer here, people. All right. I think this Magic is awesome. The wave is freaking amazing. But I just think the Giants have too much of a tough hill to climb, man. They have to win every single game,
we're sensible.
including Philly. Yeah. We're here. I'm being honest. They have to beat Philly twice. And I don't think they'll be able to beat Philly at all. As much as I love Tommy DeVito and seeing that energy, that story, that everything, we still have to remember the kid has a certain skill set, right? So we don't know if he's able to beat these good teams. Because looking at, that the Love quarterback in Green Bay, right? Looking at Love, he wasn't a great quarterback, and the other teams that he played wasn't that good either, unfortunately. So we got to see if he can beat the Jalen Hurts. We got to see if he can beat those Derek Carr at this point. You know what I mean? Down in New Orleans. So we got to see if he can actually beat these sort of teams here. But I'll tell you this, if he does beat like a Philly and etc., how about, forget the playoffs. How about a starting quarterback position? Like we can start asking some of those questions if he beats some of these good teams, right? So with that being said, I don't see the playoffs, but I love this ride. This is my first time. And Speed, save that thought because I'm going to come to you. But this is my first time seeing Tommy DeVito freaking play this game. Like the kid is swift, the kid is smart. Again, his arm is like, and I said this to Spee and Hef in the chat. I was like, guys, if he had Daniel Jones's arm, that's a franchise quarterback. Because the kid is smart, quick with decisions. He understands how he has pocket presence better than the starter that we have here. No disrespect to the starter. I'm not trying to kick him while he's down. Don't get it twisted. But his pocket awareness is a whole lot better. It's gotten better. Agility. In this game,
it was so he's not broken yet.
Even that he's coachable, right? Even that he's coachable. So that shows you, because even the announcers said it. That was a point of emphasis for Brian Daboll for him to elude the pocket better. And the fact that he was doing it and created no sacks for himself. Again, he's a rookie, guys. He's a rookie. That's a huge step up. He's a rookie, an undrafted free agent at that. So for him to actually make that adjustment and apply it in game, that's huge. That's a smart football player. You know what I mean? So that shows you he's coachable. It's just the talent level of what his God-given ability is just isn't there as far as what I can see him being a starter in this league. But he's smart. He knows how to make decisions with the football. He eludes the pocket very well. He has great agility, and he has some good speed to him. I didn't see. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe he had this much speed to him. So fast. If he's able to beat one of these good teams that's going to game plan for him, at this particular point because they're gonna because Philly, we know how Philly coaches, right? They're gonna be like, man, we need to shut these giant players down. We got enough hearing about this Tommy DeVito, all of this. They ain't doing none of that in our house.
You know,
if he's able to
off.
overcome that, I'm telling you right now, then we could be like, listen, maybe he could start. Maybe he could be a starter in this league. And again, it goes back to maybe we can trade him for a draft pick if push comes to shove. But I want to win. And shout out Tommy DeVito, man. That was electric watching that. I could see all the hype and the hubbub, man. So I'm telling you, I'm back on watching Giants games for now. I'm back.
He brought you back. He thought he was out, but they dragged you back in.
Back in. So I'm watching some games for now. For now, man, the Giants got my attention. And shout out Tommy DeVito.
You know what they're calling him? You know what they're calling him now? Primetime Tommy.
Oh,
I just made that up.
They're calling him that. They are Primetime Tommy's got a nice.
People are saying it in the street.
Saying this.
And let me say this too. Shout out to his agents that looks like the guy that is just like I know a guy that know a guy, right? I'll make him an offer he can't refuse.
That is his real agent too.
Yeah, that's an agent. Like, yo, that is a hey, I'm gonna break his legs, agent. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to his agent. Shout out to his parents that was there too. They actually had a whole
love this shit.
Spread in the tailgate where fans was getting food for free. So shout out to them, man. Like they really know how to put on, for their son, man. So that's huge support. Shout out to them, man. But I love this Tommy DeVito ride. Keep going, kid. Keep going. Prove them doubters wrong, man. Keep going.
So wait. On this note, I'm genuinely curious now. And I'll start with you, E. What does Tommy DeVito need to do to really win you over? And we were talking about it in a couple of games ago. We're like, we still need a QB, but is there a way that he could win you over into possibly giving Daniel Jones or whoever a chance, like a fight next year?
I'll spin it this way. Like, what's his ceiling like, right, Speed?
Yeah,
I think we asked that. Yeah. It's like, what's his ceiling like?
Can he be a starter next year?
That's the question now.
And I'll tell you this, right? His ceiling, I think he can be a starter in this league. I think with the right system, I think he can be a starter here because we see it, right? We've seen
I think he's
so
in the
far.
right system.
Yeah,
he is. And again, I'm not trying to ship him off or anything like that, but we have to understand that Daniel Jones is a starter according to Joe Shane, right? So we don't. That's according to Joe Shane. So I'm just thinking at that next year, can he be a starter in this league next year? I think absolutely, the kid has the swag. The kid has the intangibles to become this. I think I've seen a good amount. Now, again, I want to see how he does in farewell against Philly and New Orleans, especially being down there in Louisiana with that crowd. We already know how that crowd in that dome is over there, right? So I want to see how he fares to that. And the kid so far, to me, he has the swag. Like, you see him. Like, nothing really phases him. The fact that somebody has a minute and 30 seconds to go down and lead your team to a game-winning field goal, that takes a little oomph, you know what I mean, in there. So shout out to him, but at the same time, I like to see. But I think I've seen a good amount where I could go, okay, he could be a starter in this league. I think.
Okay.
But let's see in due time. And I think that's his ceiling. Starter in this league, and I won't even say like mid-order pack. I would say probably top 20 in the range there. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I would say that he could be that type of, out of the 32 teams, he'd be in the top 20-ish maybe, because I think he could play a little bit better, you know what I mean, than some quarterbacks possibly, like a Zach Wilson, and that's another story, you know what I mean? So the top 20 range is his ceiling.
To be honest, I want to keep him as a backup. I want to,
for sure.
That way, because you saw how many quarterbacks go down this season, having a guy, a dangerous I'll call him dangerous when you can run for 70 yards and protect the football and not take sacks and have enough good throws. He's not afraid to make the throws. He made a throw to Wandale that when he let it go, it was like, oh no, but he gave his receiver a chance, his smallest receiver even. But that's all receivers want. And that's how big plays happen is you throw it when it's not 100% there. And like, there's an elephant-sized elephant in the room now about our QB 2 and 3 and how they've helped move this offense along without taking any reps with the ones, all offseason. And so it's a credit to Dable, and it might be an indictment on someone else.
Well, let's see. I mean, and I'll read you. There's a lot of good stats out there. Like, he's the first QB to win his first 3 games and not have a turnover. First starting QB, complete 80% of his passes, rush for 70, commit no turnovers, take no sacks, whatever. Crazy stats, and you sometimes you get caught up in the labels of like, he was undrafted, or he went in the 5th round, or he went in the 3rd round, or he went in the 1st round. And sometimes you get these guys like the Tony Romos of the world, and I'm not going to say Tom Brady's, but the Kurt Warners that just fall through the cracks. And maybe we got a guy, man. Maybe we finally got a guy that's fallen through the cracks. That just you can't judge a guy's heart, and like Tommy's got a lot of heart, he got a lot of gusto, playing in right near the stadium. Like maybe it's a Cinderella story. Maybe it is. Like, so I don't know, man. I'm very excited to see what this next 4 games are going to say. Like you said, the Philly game first of all, this weekend going down to New Orleans, test number 1. Then right after that, Christmas Day, Eagles
at Philly, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's at. Wait, let's see. I think it's at Philly. So, yes, at Philly. That's the biggest test of all.
That's the test. That's the test.
Hey, bring it up here. So like, I'm interested to see, man. Where could he take this? So I think that he's at the very least, he's at the very bare minimum, he's already proven to me and a lot of others that he could be a Minshew like good journeyman backup, bridge quarterback possibly if this keeps going. But where his ceiling is, I don't know, man. Like Tony Romo took over out of nowhere, undrafted for Drew Bledsoe, and it took a couple of games. But then at one point, the switch flipped, and the Cowboys fans are like, "We've got a guy now." Like he's like, and I don't know if we're gonna see that or not, but maybe it happens. Maybe it happens on Sunday. Maybe he just fights so hard in the Eagles game, it's close. That will convince a lot of people like, hey, there might be a competition next year if Daniel Jones is still here, hopefully with another drafted quarterback involved as well. But it's starting to get the conversation started to where there was no conversation about it now. After the Packers game, we have a conversation finally. It's crazy to see.
And let me say this too, like the kid is doing this with a quote unquote bad offensive line, right? And you know what? And when I said that today, like in a tweet, I was like, yo, the guy's doing it what most would say is a bad offensive line. And then the Daniel Jones truthers is like, well, Andrew Thomas and is back, don't you think? I was like, well, Tyrod did it with even worse. So that's
better than it was, but it's still bad.
But let's stop pretending like it was a different team. Yeah.
Right. Right. Like, but at the end of the day, like you got to look at the signal caller. Like at some point you got to go, well, hey, if these guys are able to move it with worse and this guy had everyone in there, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like you can at least have that question, a sensible one, without saying, well, y'all not giving him a chance and y'all not. No, listen, these are legit questions. Like these guys this is a 3rd stringer and a second journeyman quarterback that was able to win some games while we had our starter that been here that got paid a boatload of money that can't seem to, 1, unfortunately stay healthy, and 2, he couldn't move the offense when he was. So you could ask those questions. It's okay. You know what I mean? So that's the question I have. It's like, man, like how come they can do it, but he can't? And I'm just like, man, I'm concerned because we're going to have him back next year. And I'm going to be like, man, they're going to think he's going to be the savior here. And I don't think he's the answer. I don't think, but that's another subject. That's just me. Give me the smoke, guys. I'm sorry. That's just me.
It's going to be so interesting next year.
It's going to be very interesting.
I still want them to draft a first-round quarterback. Like,
well, it depends on where we are, because if we end up winning 7+ games, you might have taken yourself out of the top 4 quarterbacks, which maybe Bo Nix is hanging in there, maybe Penix is hanging in there in the 15 range, wherever they end up. But I don't think you should just take a quarterback for the sake of taking. You got to like a quarterback. Like I don't want. Yeah. So like if there's somebody they like, yes, I'm in. Even if you want in the 2nd round, take somebody in the first 2 rounds.
But we're talking about dudes that are significantly better prospects than DeVito and even Daniel Jones was.
Yes.
So you're talking about like let Dable get his hands on that guy.
Yes, I don't disagree at all. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in this draft and where we end up. We possibly have 2 more losses on this schedule, maybe even 3. So maybe we're still in the range to get a guy. I don't want to be the.
No,
I don't want to
but
be the evaluator,
if this the GM, right? Your job is to make sure you go get the guy you want. Like look at Ernie Accorsi, right? He traded the farm to get Eli Manning at some point. So the GM got to do his job. We got extra draft capital, especially for this year. So get rid of them too. Get rid of another one if you really have that faith in that guy. If these guys are elite quarterback speed, and you say it, you know what I mean? Yo, these guys are it. These guys are the guys. This is the best, the crop of quarterback classes we've seen. Okay, so go get your guy. Do what you got to do. But your job is wins and losses. That's on your record forever. Win. Go win and figure out the rest later.
I'll tell you what's hard about this trade-up scenario. A lot of these teams ahead of you also need quarterbacks. So, like, it's hard. You have to find a team that doesn't need a quarterback that was also shitty.
I don't know. Justin Fields coming back looking pretty sharp. No?
They've two swings. I would be shocked. I would be shocked.
With two top one picks, you might be able to trade one of them. But think about this: if you can get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. with your two picks, and you trade Justin Fields for a third,
that can happen.
Even
that Carolina pick they have is going to be first overall.
You've completely flipped it. Carolina, how stupid do you feel? How stupid do you feel to have Bryce Young at the end of this?
And the Texans who sold Deshaun Watson for a ransom, and they now have the better quarterback who's younger on a rookie deal with all the
just brutal
winners and losers here.
And they fired their coach on top of all that. So anyway, the ceiling, I think we all agree, is very interesting to see. I think it's a lot to be determined in the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we'll know if this guy's something really special or possible like Gardner Minshew-ish, journeyman kind of guy that just helps us win every once in a while. So, but let's talk about somebody else, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm about to say I want to take a look at the crosstown rivals a little bit because you know what's crazy. You know what's crazy is that Zach Wilson, we was just clowning him like, yo, man, all right, that was the sign. You ran into the Robert Saleh. That was the sign. It was done. But, yo, pretty impressive game. I think he had over 300 yards. I think he had like a few touchdowns, right, Smee? I don't got the stats here in front of me. Yes, I do. I'm lying to you because someone gave it to me. Shout out to the people that gave it to me. But let me just do it. 27 36 out of 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, man. Lead the Jets to an impressive win over the Texans. Guys, Zach Wilson came in as like the light bulb switch for him, and this guy played extremely well. Speed, we were like done. How you feeling, man, at our crosstown rival, Zach Wilson, man? I knew he had it in him. You know what I mean? What you got?
Oh my God! I mean, listen, he played with a certain bit of. You knew it this whole time. You knew it this whole time.
I knew he had it in him. I knew it.
Oh God! No, listen, he came in. And it was like all the pressure was lifted off of him. He played loose for the first time in possibly his career. Like he knew that, you know what, the playoffs are pretty much gone. I'm pretty much written off already out of here. So like he played just like he didn't give a shit, and he slung the ball all over. It was a horrible game to throw the ball. By the way, CJ Stroud looked like shit on the other side, and your rookie of the year and possible MVP candidate was looking like shit on the other side. And you know what? He threw the ball to Garrett Wilson. He got the ball to Breece Hall, and he made plays when he needed to. And I was shocked, man. That Texans defense is pretty legit. And he came in, and there was no doubt about it. Like his fumble was he was running the ball, and he got hit. I don't even blame. It wasn't a bad fumble, but kudos to that man for turning around. With all the pressure on him to this might be the last start of your career, and he balled out, man. He balled out. Good for him, man. Good for him. I gotta give him props. I've been shitting on him all year long, so I gotta give him props when he flips the script on me. So good for him.
Prop my nuts. Too little, too late.
All right.
You have a Super Bowl defense on the other side of the ball. And you couldn't fucking find a receiver all season. Aaron Rodgers goes down. And look, a lot of this is on the offensive coordinator, Hackett, for not adjusting to this guy's game. He was still running Aaron Rodgers' offense, which is not Zach Wilson's strength. So a lot of blame goes there. But this dude, too little, too late, man. Like, the season's done. You're out of playoffs. Like, you got to find the magic a little quicker than that, bro. You got benched. You got brought back. You were the hated man in New York. They drafted you second overall. And we're talking about giving him props because he had one good game. Come on.
Hey, listen, I hear you. And if those rumors, I don't know if you guys heard the rumors, if they were true. Diana Rossini, good ESPN, Jersey's own Diana Rossini, reported that, there's whispers in the locker room that he didn't want to start. He didn't want to start. He was worried about getting injured, and he didn't want to start because he felt like it was bullshit. They were going back to him. Wow. Didn't want to get hurt. Imagine if that's really true, and imagine what your teammates would have thought about you. You didn't want to go back. I don't know, man. For her to report that, she heard it from somewhere. She's not a bullshitter. She doesn't just come. She's not one of those people that just comes up with a story from nowhere. So that was damning. But for him to come back amongst all that shit, he might have he's earned himself another start at the very least, right? Like, he's got another start now versus the Dolphins next, and then the Browns winnable. So I don't know, man.
I knew he had it in him, Steve.
Stop it.
All right? I knew he had it in him.
We have record of what you said.
Let me say this.
He's a baby back bitch.
Here we go. I knew he had it in him. But he doesn't have it in him, all right? Let me say this, man. He doesn't have it in him. Unfortunately, man, like you said, it's a little bit too late. Like, that light bulb got to click now, especially when the starter goes down, right? When they bring another quarterback in there to take your starting job, that light bulb should have been off. Like, listen, I could be out the league. No other team can want me. And what Zach Wilson put on film these past few games, this hasn't been enough for any team to take him. I mean, listen, they'll take a flyer on him. Don't get me wrong. He could be a number 2 or number 3 in someone else's team. But you got to have that listen, you're putting out something great. It's a good resume builder. You will be a 2 or 3 on somebody else's team, but it's just a little bit too late for the Jets, man. You're done. You're out of here. Well, kiss this town goodbye, brother.
You know what the Giants would do? They'd give him $82 million guaranteed.
That's another subject. And listen, hold on. Before someone says you're kicking him while he's down, we're just stating some of the obvious here, people. Like, come on. This is some of the obvious.
There's an elephant in the room, okay?
It is. It's a big elephant.
Are we going to sidestep it? Can I go?
I mean, listen, can I say something? Because I did some research today.
Mr. Glass half full. Come with us.
I just got to tell you guys here.
Bring us back down to reality, please.
I know this wasn't a completely different team that we have right now, but I wanted to rehash what we were dealing with when we were playing the Dallas Cowboys, the San Francisco 49ers, the Miami Dolphins, and Seattle Seahawks. We're rolling out Josh Azudu, who wasn't even good at left guard, a second-year player, as our starting left tackle for 4 games.
I am so exhausted of this.
I'm just saying. We started Shane Lemieux. Can you tell me, where's Josh Azudu right now?
I can tell you this, Spiro. Tyrod had a way better offensive line with Justin Pugh off the couch. That was the excuse.
He did. Listen, Justin Pugh.
He just crushed your point right there, Speed.
What do you mean? Broken. No, he did. No, Justin Pugh has been a better player than what we've had in there right now. He has.
He's broken.
Oh, he was 100% broken. He was 100%. What I'm saying is our offensive line has gotten better just because you got Tyree Phillips, first of all, can we shout out Tyree Phillips for an amazing job that he did against Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary had 9 sacks coming into this game. 36. He played 39 snaps against Tyree Phillips. 0, nothing. Shut down. I don't even remember him playing.
Spiro, what do you say about Tommy DeVito being pressured on 48% of snaps and not taking a sack yesterday?
Well, I mean, something clicked for him. He was coached to take.
That's my point. It's on.
No. Yes, but okay. Can I tell you what the difference is?
I'm the tiebreaker. Y'all go.
There's a difference between 48% of the pressure is coming from here or there, and then 48% of the pressure is coming from every single position that's on the offensive line. Because JMS was missing. We had an all-pro left tackle missing. We had Evan Neal, who's been a turnstile, and then who was even playing guard? McKeithen. Where's McKeithen been since? Does anybody know? Is he injured? I don't even know. Or is he benched?
I think he works at the local enterprise.
Yeah. It's Shane Lemieux, another guy who had a couple starts. What I'm saying is these guys were NFL caliber players we had in the lineup. Ben Bredesen was all over the lineup. What I'm saying is it's okay to admit that offensive line was one of the worst I've seen in a long time. And I've seen a lot of bad. We've seen a lot of bad Giant offensive lines. What we have right now, and if for nothing else, the cohesion of this line, because they finally it's like the first time in 2 games that our line has played together, 2 straight games, right? Like I don't remember this lineup being so consistent until now. It's better. It's not good. It's better. It's okay to say that. It's not saying that Daniel Jones was bad because of the offensive line. Well, all I'm stating is this offensive line is better than it was before. And Wan'Dale Robinson's come back and he looks healthy.
Okay. Jones also had
Saquon's back.
Jones also had Waller in the beginning, right? And he was not producing. He was not doing anything. So I mean, I can't keep doing it. I just can't keep doing it anymore.
This is not meant to be a this versus this guy versus that guy. I'm stating offensive line was terrible, and now it's below average. It was like bottom 3 to now it's like in the 20 range, like of shittiness.
But will you admit that there is a different aura in the team? If you remember, the defense
100%.
The defense clicked when Tyrod started playing quarterback. For some reason, that defense came alive.
Yeah, but maybe
Jones got rocked on the first drive of the season, and the only guy that went over there was our rookie center in his first drive of his career.
Do you think they hate Daniel?
I think. Look how the team has rallied around DeVito in 3 games. This undrafted guy.
Yes.
He had the fucking GM going like this. DeVito has rallied the fan base in a matter of weeks and become a marketable quarterback in a matter of weeks. And Daniel Jones
not do that last year? Did Daniel Jones do it last year?
Gel yet? What?
Didn't they rally around Daniel Jones last year?
You could say they rallied around Jones last year. It was really a bar.
I'm just saying.
I mean, listen, but there's stats and then there's like what the eyes tell you. And like when you
there's more juice. I 100% agree.
See these other 2 guys take over. There's like more confidence from the quarterback position. And that's my biggest gripe with DJ is he's so fucking indecisive.
Yes. Listen, Tommy's got that jersey confidence 100%. Tyrod had that confident, like, I'm a vet. I know what to do with the ball. And DJ was lost. DJ was lost because I truly believe he was so fucking beaten and he's so nervous that maybe the pressure of the $40 million came on him too. Just came all over. Yeah, just all over him. But anywho, I think that it was a combination of all these factors. And DJ, I'm not defending him. His clock was gone. He was a shell of himself. Played the worst ball of his career, arguably, in those first couple
games.
He
gave us 2 good quarters. That's
no, it was
40
bad.
Something million. He had 2 good quarters.
What I'm saying is that these two guys have they've gotten Saquon back. They gotten Wan'Dale back. The offensive line solidified, and I think Dabes has taken over. I feel like, right? Play calling dudes a little bit. I feel like we talked about this several times.
It's hearsay, right? It's hersay, right?
It might, may or may not be. We've heard rumors.
Okay, we'll use it.
We've heard rumors.
Okay.
So I feel like the game plan has never been as good as it has until recently too. Like they game plan the shit of it. Kafka and Dable had their best game on Monday night. The things that they were calling, they had the Packers off fucking kilter. Like they didn't know what was coming next. That's the first time I felt that all season long.
Were they not game planning when they had a full?
I don't know.
Jones and a year with him already.
Were they trying to do too much? It just felt like or was Jones just not hitting it? I don't know. I think it was a confidence thing. You're right. He didn't have the confidence. He didn't have the confidence in the line. I think Tommy DeVito's playing loose because he's a new guy. Didn't get he's got that ignorance is bliss. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna let it rip. And Tyler was just cool. And both of those guys, they have more agility than Daniel does. Like they could just elude somebody. Whereas Daniel, he's fast, but he's not going to elude somebody. So we should have put a nice team in front of him, offensive line around him, but they didn't. And now he's toast. And maybe, and I don't know if he plays another snap for the Giants again. I personally don't know if I could let that happen from the GM because you're risking too much.
Well, it makes the GM look so bad. If you
until he gets the next one,
until you're succeeding and you're winning games. But if you roll Daniel Jones out there again and you try to sell this fan base again, and you're fucking 6 that this guy can work, and you go 1-4, you're fucking fired. Like, you're gonna be done. Like, you can't keep selling the same bag of shit and telling people it smells different. Like,
it'll be very interesting, man.
And you know what? A lot of and just for me to chime in real quick, a lot of people saying, "Hey, the situation has to be perfect." I don't even think there's a perfect football team, right? But it has to be a whole lot better than what. No football team is perfect. Like, if we look at the 2007 Giants, I'm a Giants fan, right, guys? Obviously, yeah. But if we look at the 2007 Giants, that wasn't a perfect team. They played the perfect team because the Patriots was the most perfect team in the NFL that year, right? Daniel Jones probably needs something to that nature, to like the New England Patriots type of style. I don't even think he'll succeed if he was in the 2007, and that's a concern. Because if you look at 2011, where Eli Manning had the last offensive ranking line in the league, and he was able to win a Super Bowl, and Daniel Jones, we got the last ranking, but it could be now. I just don't think he's that type of player to elevate everyone around him like the rest of the quarterbacks that we've seen. Like, we've seen Tyrod elevate this offense. We've seen Tommy DeVito elevate some of these guys. I just don't see Daniel Jones elevating, even to the playoffs when you look at it, right? It was a Daniel Jones show or Saquon Barkley, but there was no one else around him that can elevate, or that was elevated because of his play. There just wasn't, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Spiel Hef. You know what I mean? I just didn't see that.
Hodgins had a good year last year when he came over, and Slayton had a pretty good year last year too.
Slayton was Slayton. I feel like Slayton's been consistently just, you know who he is.
Right. And I feel like now you get to see that Hodgins, like you get to, and again, Speed, like, and I understand you're looking at Hodgins and you look, those guys look the same,
Richie James,
like in a way too. But
Richie James
made a difference as well. You know what I mean?
But like, we're also saying like, but DeVito had Wan'Dale Robinson. Yeah, but like Hyatt didn't do anything last night. He made Wan'Dale, like, he was throwing darts to Wan'Dale. He was giving Wan'Dale chances.
I don't want this to sound like I'm knocking. I love.
No, we want you to come. Yeah. We want you to come. We don't want to be too crazy.
And I don't even want to sound like I'm defending Jones, because I know he's cooked mentally. He was playing the worst ball of his career. What I'm saying is that I think the biggest fault here is that we paid this guy $40 million.
Yes,
that's the biggest fault here. He's not the guy that's going to elevate a bad team around him. We should have known that. That was the front office's fault, not Daniel Jones's fault.
He hasn't produced a 1,000-yard receiver, Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, he has.
How many years? It's a passing league. He doesn't make 1,000-yard receivers at anybody.
Yeah.
No.
To be fair,
and this is what makes Saquon special, because Saquon.
Who do you think should have been a 1,000-yard receiver that he's kind of let down? Slayton? Is that the guy that should have been the?
Maybe.
That's the only one, right?
I'm just saying. That's. I mean, he had a washed-up Golden Tate and Slayton, and I don't even know who is the untapped potential guy that he hasn't unlocked. I'm trying to
no, and injuries have also been a dark cloud over this team for
sure.
And listen,
anyways, this was fun, right?
Like we thought Waller would be that type of guy to help him out. It just hasn't been to fruition. It just hasn't.
His hamstring as usual.
Yeah, like it just hasn't been I just didn't Daniel Jones didn't help, unfortunately, at that little bit of time.
Speaking about Waller, he's coming back this weekend.
Is that official?
I'd say it's about 95% chance. He sounded like he was going to start practice last week. I'm guessing he's good to go. I'll be very interested to see what he's got left in the tank, and how Tommy's going to use him. How is Tommy going to use him? No, for sure. But I'm interested to see how the chemistry, because Tommy hasn't really practiced with him. So and can he be a weapon for this? I almost forgot what he can do for this offense.
I'll tell you this.
We
right?
all did. Yeah.
Look, I'll tell you this, right? Looking at Tommy DeVito, he doesn't really go to tight ends much, right? Like, I saw one pass to Bellinger, whatever the case is, and guys, the last games, but it seems like it's either Wan'Dale or Hyatt or a little bit of Slayton there. You know what I mean? So he'll go to his wideouts quicker than he'll take that safety blanket in the tight end. So I don't think he'll come back and make a huge difference, Waller. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, but you'll see him get some sort of burn, but I don't think it'll be a huge factor as we thought with him and Daniel Jones. That's what I think.
I'm intrigued, man. I
am though.
And then I don't know, man. Waller's better show something here for the next couple of games because he could be on a chopping block at the end of the season. I don't know. Like,
he's unfortunately he's out of here.
Is tight end a need for this team? If he doesn't show anything, if he shows he's washed, like you got to stay in the fucking field, Waller. Like, come on, bro.
I'll just end with this, like being how you saw Tyrod look and how DeVito is looking right now. I just think how much better would we feel if they had just tagged DJ or just let him walk, right? And actually test the market, because we were literally against ourselves with negotiating. And like we don't need to go back to this all the time, but like in my mind, that was clearly a colossal fucking mistake, that contract.
Yeah, but it's a 2-year mistake. It's a possible 2-year mistake.
But it is a big mistake because next year you could draft your guy.
But they could still do that.
I know, right? But like, think of what else you could do with $40 million. Like you could get 2 high caliber starting guards if you want. You know what I mean?
Like, they have a lot of money to work with still. I will say that. So I'll tell you this, and I've read a couple articles about executives talking about it. That contract should not prevent the Giants from doing anything. You backload everybody else a year. They have a ton of money to work with still next year. Daniel Jones shouldn't prevent the Giants from doing anything they want to do next year. Now, personally, I don't think that we should be balling out, spending big money next year. I think we should draft really good again, and then set yourself up for 2025 to be your big splash year. Maybe get an edge, maybe get one impact guy in free agency. But next year is a building year. Find your situation at quarterback. Hopefully we draft another one. And you can develop him. But let all these guys, man, I don't know what the Saquon situation is going to be like yet. But I'm very intrigued to see how they treat this next offseason. But Daniel Jones, just like Carson Wentz didn't stop the Eagles from getting to the next level quickly, Daniel Jones, his contract is over after next year. It shouldn't prevent them from doing anything. You can backload. You have space next year.
I mean, I think they actually had to rework it and push a little bit to the 3rd year.
For him, but it's minimal.
I know it's minimal, but I mean, it's still money. And Monty's probably right here, saying the move was to transition tag him, because then you allow other people to make offers, and then you have a choice to match it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so
they couldn't have let him go. It was.
I know, but like, why wouldn't you do that?
Yes,
why wouldn't you see what he's actually worth? Because he may have gotten a couple of $25 million offers, and you'd be like, oh.
Exactly.
Let's reel this in a little bit.
If they had it back, they probably would have done that. 100%.
I mean, it was DJ cashed out. I mean, he played his best, and that playoff game, it
was just a perfect storm.
He was awesome in that playoff.
It was a perfect storm.
And he got $82 million with that.
Lucky fucking dog. He's the luckiest quarterback in the league, dude.
And then a week later, he looked like a pedestrian. Like I didn't even recognize him. It's like there's just the last thing I'll say, because I know we gotta wrap or move on here, is that I always ask that question to fans of other teams, whether it's content creators, people who know football, with 100% certainty, nobody fears Daniel Jones.
No.
Like, nobody. The answer is never, oh, he's good, man. I think he can. That is never, only Giants fans try to talk themselves into it. Like, we wanted to believe.
Feared?
We wanted to believe, but like, don't you want a quarterback that's feared?
How many? So if you had to how many guys do you think are feared in this league?
12. Where you feel like they could win a game. I mean, because if you get to the Matt Staffords, Matt Stafford should be feared.
I agree.
The guy throws fucking dimes. He throws with anticipation. He's won a Super Bowl. And if you're talking about him in the 12 range, then hell yeah. And he can't even run.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah, no. Daniel Jones one doesn't scare me. I for me, it's like the top 7 scare me. Like Lamar Jackson, the Burrows, the Mahomes. I'm talking like elite guys. After that, it's just they're good quarterbacks.
It's anybody.
Good quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's anybody.
Yeah, right. Good quarterbacks. But long story short, let's find our next guy. Let's just find our next guy to where there's no fucking debate anymore. We're done. Even going back to Eli, even going back to Phil Simms, we've never had, I keep saying this, we never had a guy that we all could just fucking get behind that's like a star. We know he's a star. Can't we just get that guy?
And even then, like, you look at the Bills, like, no one doubts, like, everyone, their whole fan base is, I would say,
everybody's on board.
Yeah, like, they got Josh Allen's back, but like, it's still not enough sometimes. Like, And that's great. And they have an alpha receiver. They've had a good defense. And that's how fucking hard it is. But Spiro, that was a good debate. I love you.
That was good.
Great,
cheers.
man.
Cheers
to you guys, man. I just let y'all rock. That was a great one, man. I was like really, I was like a fan here for a second. I was like, let me step aside, let my brothers work this one out. Let them shoot the fade. They got to shoot the fade sometimes. But yo, guys, I want to end this show with something pretty dang cool, man, just to uplift the beat. But I saw something on a post on the X app, man, the other day where Jada Pinkett Smith was saying, man, that slap that Will Smith gave Chris Rock saved their marriage. I was mind blown, but it led me because, you know, if you guys don't know, man, we like to dibble and dabble in a couple of things. I can't really say work if you hear me. I don't do it. I don't do any of that. But the point is, it led me to ask this question here. And the question was, what would be a slappable offense? And I wanted to ask my brothers here because I don't have anything at the moment. But what do you guys deem? Because I feel like a slap is the most disrespectful thing in the world. I'd rather get socked in the face with a fist than a smack. That's like so disrespectful. So Speed, I'm gonna start with El Jefe on this one. What would deem as a slappable offense to you, man?
I think someone like defending Daniel Jones' contract is a slappable offense.
Shit.
That's what you're going with?
You know what it is? It's a fine line because if someone does something too fucked up, then you're going to punch them, you're going to choke them, you're going to do other things. A slap is like a very specific middle ground. And I would say maybe like you just get like a fresh drink on the bar. Someone comes over, like purposely knocks it over, like purposely like just knocks it on your lap. Wouldn't say it's necessarily like punch you, but I think that's slap worthy.
Slappable offense.
I think that warrants a slap in the you. What the?
I just spent a half hour trying to get that drink.
$12 for that beer.
That's not bad.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. Maybe I'm a raging alcoholic, but that was the first thing that came to my mind.
I was initially thinking food because I'm a fat boy, but like, so I changed it because like food, you can't slap someone in the face if someone just steals food off your plate. But if I imagine myself waiting in like a very long line for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and like a motherfucker comes up and at the last second before you're going to come in, just cuts right in front of you, just that didn't wait at all. And then I wouldn't be able, like, almost to the point where I couldn't get in after that point. Like, he's like last person in. I'm slapping the shit out of that motherfucker. I said I waited for fucking 2 hours on this line to get in. And if you think you're just gonna cut me, and then I could just imagine him talking shit back to me.
That's like you could tell Spiro's like his blood.
I've been in a couple lines before.
Yeah,
I've queued motherfuckers.
He's had some things happen.
The slap comes easy for
Let me say this, man. I don't know if you guys ever. I feel that. I don't know if you guys ever know this game back in the day, man, where when we did it in the hood, in the area, man, we used to get like a fresh thing, or like a sandwich from the deli, from the bodega, you know what I mean, from Paco's and them back there in Stapleton. If you guys know from Staten Island, holla at me, you know what I mean? We used to get the fresh look, and the people used to come over and smack it out of your hand and be like, you don't want that. I don't know if you guys ever remember that game.
No,
yeah, they did that game right in the Stapleton Project. Shout out to Stapleton Project, man, homegrown right here, baby. But yeah, people like, you don't want that. That is a slappable offense. You just got a sandwich and it's fresh off the cold cut machine from Paco's with the extra mayo and onions on it, and you smack it out my hands. I'm smacking fire out you. Early. I don't care what that is. I'm smacking you. That's a smackable or a slappable offense right there. You smack some food out my hand and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah,
that's slappable offense.
That sandwich sounds so good. I'm so hungry right now.
Speaking of hunger, I
want
to go back because we missed the couple super chats.
We missed a couple.
What a professional transition right there, Spiro.
That's
speaking of hunger.
He's in it.
Just show business.
Right into
show
it. Yes, show business.
He's ready.
Our boy Chris, the question man. We call him Chris the question man. Always coming with some fire. If you guys,
this is a good question.
If you guys had an opportunity to have dinner or lunch with Tommy DeVito, what meal or dish are you having with him? E, what you got? What were you having with Tommy D? Come on, give me something.
Everybody's like, man, the cutlets. I get it, he's Italian, but I'm telling you this, in an Italian household, I'm sure he tired of that a little something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I'm gonna take him to the wild side a little bit. I'm gonna take him to my part of town, baby. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Of course, you guys know the mac and cheese and the collard greens. I say this every week and make you guys hungry. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm gonna get the fried chicken in there, and of course, inside of that cornbread, boss. You know I'm gonna get that cornbread going, boss. Yes. So Tommy DeVito, we're gonna have some soul food, good old-fashioned soul food. Get that honey hot sauce, Louisiana style on there too. You know what I mean? On that fried chicken, when you bite into it, it's crunchy and the juices will smack you all up in the face. You got put the grease on your lips, big ass lips. That's what it is. The grease is all over there. Tommy DeVito, come to the soul food spot, some southern food. That's what we having, brother.
Okay,
that's
so you're bringing them to you. You're bringing them to Eli's side of town. I get it.
Damn right.
Hefe, what you got, man? What are you having with Tommy?
I mean, I'm going to show him some Irish culture. I'm going to drink that some bitch under the table with some Guinness and give him some corned beef and see what this fucking guy's made of.
Let's go. Let's go.
Some hair on his chest.
Yeah, see how smooth he is after a couple of those, some Irish car bombs. Let's throw some of those back.
Let's go. Ain't no cornbread and cabbage, bro. You ain't doing none of that there. I mean, not cornbread. I'm sorry. What is it? I'm sorry. What is it? Corned beef and cabbage. Are you doing corned beef and cabbage?
But cornbread sounds good. I do like cornbread. So you can throw that in there. Let's throw that in there too.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I'm gonna keep it in North Jersey. The way I grew up. We're gonna go straight Italian. I want to go to his house, have his mama make us some nice lasagna, some good old fashioned. Because I seen their family. They look like they've had a couple of lasagnas.
Yeah. His guy's face is like,
he's just stay for as long as you can. Yeah. Like it's one of those. So I'm going to his house, and Mama DeVito's cooking us up some good Italian food because I trust her. My aunt was the same way. So I know this. I know how these guys get down. So I'm going to his house. We're having ourselves a nice lasagna. I know Hefe that wreaks havoc on the bubble guts over there. I get it.
Yeah,
I'm ready for that life. I'm ready for it.
The thought of it hurts. Yeah.
Chris, good question. C's, shout out DeVito's agent, Big Dom. Me, Ben, if you know what I mean. Hey, listen, Big Dom from Philly is now out. He cannot be on the sidelines anymore. You see that after
Forever?
the little scandal? Yeah, I think he's banned for good. Big Dom, you're out. But no, I wouldn't want to fuck around with that dude. He's a big guy. DeVito's agent, he seems like a little bit of scrawny little bitch, but he's got a good little fedora going.
What are you trying to say?
Well,
people are talking. Yeah.
Oh God. Well, that was good, guys.
These guys are the monsters compared to me, guys. I'm the scrawny little guy. All right. Spiro's like 6'8" and shit in real life, guys.
He's a gigantic man.
He's fucking huge. This guy is walking around fucking beefy and shit. Like this fucking guy is me. And Hefe, don't get it twisted, man. If fucking Spiro's 6'8", Hefe is about 6'3". This motherfucking solid, fucking arms is huge. I'm like, jeez, fucking guys is huge, man. I'm this little 5'9" guy. I'm little, man.
I would have been dunking if I was 6'3". I was 6'3", bro.
Listen, just give me 6 foot exactly. I'd have been good. I'd have been in the league. I'd have been great, baby. You know what I mean? But guys, that is the show. We had a great time with you guys, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Yes, you to revive us in the chat. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, share and subscribe, guys. Don't forget. Also, I've been talking to a little update on Pest's wife as well, man. So thank you all for your well wishes and etc. She's going to make an official statement, of course, in the near future. And Pest Fest coming real soon. We're gonna get that Pest Fest going for you guys as well, and we thank you for all the support, man. And of course, man, on behalf of my brothers here, you guys know who they are, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's
Spiro.
Spiro, if you're nice.
Hey.
Spiro, my brother, hey, Hefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Damn it, Daniel. And of course, it's your boy Eli Rex, aka Vibes. We see you on the next one. Peace and blessings.
Damn it, DeVito.
Eli Rex, El Jefe, Mr. Glass Half Full, the revival.